talk about our stitching and other stuff. Happy Halloween. Almost.
Halloween. Pumpkin. Yeah, this is our Halloween edition.
Halloween. And we might not get to do anything for Halloween because my girls have all been sick since Friday. So my fingers are still crossed. We're praying that they're better because they really want to go trick-or-treating because they had their costumes all picked out and gotten, and they love to dress up. And so I'm hopeful. They're a little better today. So they could make a comeback by morning. If they're feeling a little better, then we'll go ahead and plan to still go.
Weather is not gonna be really bad, is it? So it doesn't like it's gonna be.
I think it's cool, and I think it could be okay. As long as they haven't had a fever. I think they haven't had fevers for a while. So if they stay fever free tomorrow, then they're not.
The year I was in third grade, right before Halloween, I got chicken pox.
Oh.
And I got over it in time, but my sister had come down with it, so she didn't get to treat. So my dad took me around, and I had 2 buckets, and I told everybody that my sister was sick with chicken pox, and could I have a piece of candy for her? She would have been first grade. I know. And last year we were just getting Penny and Mommy and Daddy over COVID, and I think I came down with it after Halloween.
Not long.
So it must have been a year ago. Yeah, it must have been, I think, this week a year ago that I came down with COVID.
Yeah. The neighborhood where we like to trick or treat is the neighborhood where the girls go to ballet, and it's kind of it's kind of historic homes. It's a really nice, cute neighborhood with lots of variety in the houses, and we love to drive through there. Big old trees.
Yeah.
They go all out for Halloween. Like every house is decorated pretty much. Every house is giving out candy. And by decorated, I mean like over the top, lots of stuff. But because of that, the main drag through that neighborhood is just a disaster zone. Like people are in line waiting to get up to a house to get candy and stuff. And so if we go, we did that last year, but we walked up through there, and some of the houses we went to and some we didn't. It just depended on what the girls wanted. And once we got through that main stretch, actually there's a lot of really cute little houses that's, smaller or not on that main avenue.
Yeah. On the side streets.
Were way more fun actually to trick or treat at, because there was still people out and there were still lots of people giving out candy, but it wasn't like the same insanity. So we decided this year we would maybe walk up that way, park and walk up, but not worry about getting any candy. Like, we don't
see the houses.
See the houses.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It was just like so crowded with people everywhere. It was just bizarre. I never seen anything quite like it for trick or treating.
Did you see that huge tragedy in Seoul, that Halloween party in Seoul?
No, I didn't hear about that.
There was, I guess, South Korea loves Halloween, and it's kind of been canceled the last couple of years because of COVID. So it was like no restrictions this year, and there's like this big party outside somewhere in this tourist area. Not tourist, I don't know what area it was, but anyway, there was this long, skinny, narrow street, and there were thousands of people packed in there. And then there was what they call a crowd surge, which is just kind of like, people just get squashed, and people were just dying of heart attacks in that crowd surge. And I think I saw 150 people died. Yeah. Whoa. I'm like, I knew I didn't like crowds for a reason.
That's so sad.
Very sad. Two so far identified were Americans. One was a gal, was a nursing student, and she's from Kentucky, and I don't think they had identified the other American yet, but the pictures are insane. I mean, it's so many people. There were pictures posted before it happened of them just, I'm like, they're drinking,
it wasn't like that in this neighborhood.
I just thought, Halloween, adult Halloween, I just don't, I guess because I had kids for so long, I don't really do adult Halloween.
I know. This is as much as I get. A thrift store out like top from and that's the first time I've done that. Your mom's pinning.
My mom's pinning a little charm bracelet I used to wear to work when I actually went to a job.
Yeah. So, and I'm not into like super spooky. I mean, I actually like to watch sort of scary, spooky stuff, but I don't like to decorate with a lot of the like spiritual elements of Halloween per se. So, I don't like worrying about my girls seeing really gory, scary costumes. So that was the other drawback about being in that big crowd and like waiting. You just see people dressed real scary. Really scary. I mean, it wasn't like that when I was growing up. Like, not that. there's some really scary
Like
stuff.
little kids dressed up really
Some
scary?
little kids wearing scary masks, and some like middle elementary, junior high, high school, like adults out with their kids trick-or-treating with super scary masks.
That's the other thing. When you guys were growing up and when I was growing up, the parents did not dress up to take their kids. That is just one more layer of pressure I did not need.
Too much work. Too much
It was
work.
hard enough pulling together 4 costumes every year.
Too much work.
I used to start stressing in August. What are these kids going to be for Halloween?
I know. Or like, I have friends that do like themes with their whole family and they're all like so cute. I'm like, then you have to dress up as the mom.
Yep. Anyway.
Although if you're going to do like a trunk or treat or something, that's kind of fun because you're going to like a party, like a costume party, basically.
There have been a lot of trunk or treats around here too.
Kind of the new thing. Yeah, it's kind of the big thing.
But
Jesse and I were like talking about that because so trunk or treat is fine, but they often do it on weekends and stuff. So then you come to Halloween and people aren't doing it, which is a fine choice, but I'm kind of like, let's just keep it on Halloween. If you're gonna do a trunk or treat, just do it on Halloween. Otherwise, I know people who are doing like one here and like it becomes like Christmas where there's like multiple things. And I'm like, that's fine for Christmas, but come on, this is just Halloween. Let's just do it all on one night.
I think a lot of churches started doing them on the weekends when it's on a weeknight because of the cleanup and people wanting to get home and they work the next day.
Sure, but I'm just
I know that was what happened at EPC when we were going there. It was the same people every year that were cleaning up and they all had to be at work at 6 a.m. and
I'm sure.
Until 8 or 9, and they put on a really big one with a lot of cleanup. So and I think the schools also are doing them on the. There's been a couple of schools that did them on the weekend because but I think tomorrow night we're just having the kids over, Penny's family over for chili, and then I thought maybe we'd watch Curious George Halloween with her. If I can find it. Is it available to rent? Or to watch?
Probably. I don't know. We just own the DVD, but probably.
Well, if not, I've got the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown if we can't find it. Anyway, and just because she had 3 school parties because the way there's her little mom's day out school is, some kids only come once a week. So she got to dress up 3 times. I don't think they had big candy gatherings, it was like a toddler, but she got to dress up 3 times and whatever they did whatever they did. And so, but then the church that this little school is out of did a trunk or treat yesterday. So she went and did that. And because Kelly's so miserably 37 weeks pregnant, they weren't going to take her trick or treating. So I think we're just going to go for a walk up and down the street. Yeah. But, she's not going to. Yeah. They'll just have a cozy, it's supposed to be cruddy weather here too. It's supposed to be rainy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not complaining though. I'm not complaining about the rain yet. I'm not going to complain.
No.
It's green. My yard is green.
Well, I have a previous finish of yours that I think we were talking about a little bit last week when you were showing Sam's birth sampler.
I'm so surprised to see.
You what?
I'm going to be so surprised to see this because you didn't tell me what it was.
Did you make this? You made
I did.
It, right? Yeah.
I did.
Yes. So this
was the
on my wall.
Huh?
What did you say?
It was the meanings of your names.
Yes.
That's Princess and Gracious one.
Yep, Sarah Ann. So this is usually, I've been hanging it on my wall above my dresser, but when I got grandma's dresser with the mirror, I had to take it down. I haven't hung it back up yet, but
it probably needs a different frame. That frame's kind of.
Probably. You want to see your framing job?
Yeah, let's see. I mean, I just taped it.
Yep. You just taped it up.
That was done probably the first year you were born. It was my first year of stitching. It works.
Yeah.
It's held up all these 39 years.
Little envelope type full. Not a lot of extra selvage here on the.
I think I just had a piece of scrap and I designed that. Like I found a border somewhere.
Really?
And that wasn't a pattern. I have a small, hold on. I think it's in here. Hold on.
I'll put it back in. In all these years that it's been hanging in my room, I've never ever taken the back off. Because why would I? Why would I even think to do that? until you start floss tubing. And
That must not be in here. I thought there was, it must be in my bedroom. I'll show it next week. There was a little companion piece to that one that you don't
oh,
have.
really? Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
A little tiny one.
Oh,
Yeah, but I did.
Was it ever in my room growing up?
Probably when you were a baby. I don't remember you having it in your room when you were older.
Oh yeah, I don't remember it, but
I'll
I
try
remember
to get
this
it out.
one.
Yeah, I am. I'll try to get it out next week.
I always felt so proud that my name meant gracious princess when I was younger.
Oh, I'm glad we picked a name that I really regretted later on because it was like the top name
I
for
know,
25 years.
I know, but now there's no baby Sarahs, so it's
Hmm.
not a common name now. But yes, there are
A lot of
always
Sarahs
Sarah
your
D in
age.
every group. Actually, there's no Sarahs at our church except me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, one in every 3 children probably was named Sarah the year you were born. And then we did a repeat when we named your brother Andrew because it was like the top boy name for like
Yeah.
25 years, or it was a long time that those names were in the top.
Yeah.
And when they came to do the birth certificate with me, I said, what's her first name? I said, Sarah. They go, oh, it's like, I don't know, the 3rd Sarah today. And did you know
You're like, never mind.
Do you know your OB has a Sarah too? And I'm like, no,
No.
know that. Didn't have the internet to search popular names.
I know, you're just like,
Got a
look at
little
the baby
paperback.
name. Oh, this looks like a nice name.
But you know, our options were like Rebecca, that ended up being really popular, and Rachel.
Mhm.
Those, but Dad, you know what Dad really wanted was Miriam.
Miriam, that's right. I knew there was an M one.
He wanted to call you
It's
Miri.
not common. Still hasn't been. I've never heard. I don't think I've ever met anybody named Miriam.
Yeah, you really liked that name.
I like that too. I wish you'd name me that.
And I really liked Hattie, but he didn't
I
like
like
Hattie, and my grandma didn't like Hattie. And
If I ever were to have another girl, I would look at Hattie. I mean, I won't, but I really
Yeah.
like it. I don't know if Jessie does. I can't remember. But I didn't really consider it very much earlier because I knew great grandma didn't care for it. And
yeah,
but I wish I
they made
had.
a comeback the last few years, although I don't like it spelled Haddie.
I don't personally like it that way either. I like it the way she spelled it with a T.
And part of that's because my grandma spelled it Ttie, but
She
yeah.
wasn't Harriet. It wasn't short for anything, was it? It was just Hattie.
Nope, her name was just Hattie
Often
Christine.
it's short for Harriet or
Yeah.
Hadley, or that's probably
Mhm.
the one that's Haddy. Or
Yeah, just plain old Hattie Christine.
Hattie Christine.
I don't know where the Christine came from.
Yeah.
I should have asked her if that was a family name, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't remember anybody else in the media family. My mom would talk about having that name
Yeah, I can't
It's
think of
like-
any other time I've heard that. Probably just parents probably just liked it.
with
I
a
love
CH.
Sarah.
Christine with a CH.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh.
Well, that little project has stood the test of time.
Stood the test of time. It hasn't fallen out of the frame or anything. Oh gosh.
Tape looked pretty brown.
Uh,
That tape looked pretty brown.
it's really aged. Well, we do have a featured friend this week. So just as a reminder, this is the last day, technically tomorrow is the last day to send in your Shepherd's Bush start end photos if you were participating in our start along or stitch along with us and with Sanctum Stitching, another Flosstube. And if you send those in to me by tomorrow, which is Halloween, which is probably technically today if you're watching this after I post it, then we will show all of those next week for our featured friend. So this week, I'm not showing those yet, but just if you're wondering where yours are, they're coming. But we do have one from Kayla.
Wait. I want to clarify. It's
Yes.
not just, it's an ending picture, not necessarily your finish. So
Oh, yeah.
even if you didn't finish it, but you worked on it, just send that along. We
Yeah.
didn't expect everybody to finish
No,
because
I'm
Jessica
not.
hasn't finished hers.
Yeah, I'm not finished. I still have a whole border to do.
I have a whole front and back to do.
a whole whip to finish. Yeah. Well, I'll show mine today. You'll get to see.
Yeah.
I did come pretty far, but I still have some stuff to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just doesn't have to be done, just wherever you got to. Our featured friend today is Kay Lowry, and she sent in this beautiful finished piece that I'll put the picture right here. called Newcastle Bouquet, and it's designed by Teresa Kogut. And she stitched it on 40 count sand, picture this plus, which is really nice. Actually, the colors pop so nice from that.
Beautiful.
And she used all called for colors except for one is one shade darker. She didn't say which one, but one of the colors. It's just modified a little bit, but just gorgeous. I love the colors are just really stunning. I feel like that's my favorite thing about that.
Yeah. Yeah, the colors are really rich and warm. And you know, like that Newcastle sounds familiar, is that I have the Newcastle Biscornu. Because when you show that and there's a moth in it, the Newcastle Biscornu has moths in it.
Yeah, I think I kind of remember having seen.
I don't know what the Newcastle, is it a Newcastle moth? I don't know what the Newcastle stands for.
I guess I don't know. Yeah.
That reminds, when you said Newcastle, I thought, oh, that's the Biscornu that I bought.
Yeah.
I think I bought that in March.
Yours is a Teresa Kogut too? Newcastle Biscornu.
Yeah, that was when I bought either needlework, either Nashville or I think it was the Nashville market that came out.
Yeah, really pretty. So thanks for sending that. Okay, we
gorgeous.
We love sharing that.
Gorgeous.
We love
how long it took you to. How long did it take you to do it, Kate?
Yeah, the border looks like it'd be time consuming.
That border is something else.
And the basket too. The flowers are in really, just really pretty.
Yeah, stunning.
Yeah,
very, very
thanks
pretty.
for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, what have you been working on this week?
Well, I did a lot of knitting because I'm trying to get this sweater done, which I did finally get off the needles and woven all the ends in, but I have not soaked it. But the little blue sweater is done.
Cute.
Now you can see the detail down the sleeve.
Now it actually turned out.
And I think after last week I realized maybe I had ripped it out the night.
You had,
yeah. Sleeve. Yeah. So I finished that sleeve. I did the other sleeve, and I'm not 100% happy with under my arms, but they'll be okay. This is a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's cute. It's soft. It's really soft, and once I block it, it'll be nice. But anyway, little tiny tin can knits flax light. So it's their flax pattern, but it's flax sweater, but it's with fingering, not DK. Really it's little raglan sleeve, little increases. But so anyway, I'm hoping to maybe give it to them tomorrow night if I can get it. Just need to soak it, and I'll probably dry by tomorrow if I put a fan by it. Oh yeah. So I did a lot on that, and I didn't have a really great week. I didn't feel good part of the week. I was tired. Yeah. Work's been bizarro. Yeah, it was just kind of a weird week. So there were a couple nights I didn't stitch very long, if I stitched at all. But but my goal really was to get caught up on my whip go. I really want to finish this whip go strong this year. Yeah. So I did stitch a lot on those pieces. And I am happy to say all caught up on my whip go. So the first one is my Hawk Run Hollow, and I'm doing this crazy square with this crazy house manor or whatever it is. I still have that crazy border. That's fun to do. Jeez, I'm not even halfway done with the house. Oh man. I mean, I did. You are 4 hours. Well, not really. I mean, I still have another whole, I still have another one of these over here, and I still have the roof to go. Oh yeah, you did. I stitched. Yeah. A lot of stitching. I did I filled in all of these windows, that brown, and I think the brown above the windows. What's interesting about these pieces is that, so you and I do not tend to be drawn towards house stitching as a single project, but I love the houses in these designs along with all the other motifs. I feel like it's just really gorgeous. But I think of each square I started to just think of it as like an individual whip, if that makes sense. And so that helps me not feel like, oh, why is this taking me so long? I'm like, well, this is a whole whip basically on its own. But it's crazy because I don't usually do whips with houses. So they just take a different mentality in stitching, I think. Yeah, you do still. So I still have to do this, all of that peacock. And then all the below. Is that a peacock? I don't know what that is. And it is filled in above is it full coverage through the fence or is it?
There's like
Yep.
a white background.
That's all that white is stitched. I'm pretty
Wow.
sure. Let me double check.
I feel like we
Let me
talked about
double
that a couple weeks ago and we thought it was.
Yes, it is. It's all filled in.
So that truly is basically a
Yeah, it's a full
coverage piece.
other than the top of it. Yeah. So I've got a long way to go on this one. But it got called again. No, yes, it got called again for November. So it'll get another 4 hours, and it will definitely be on my WIPCO board next year. If you're new here, I had started this one and a year at Hawk Run Hollow, and my start to year at Hawk Run Hollow, I got off kind of rough, and I restarted it on a different fabric, and I like the newer fabric now, but I think having 2 of these on the go was just too much for me, and I just kind of lost my steam. So I picked this Christmas one to focus on for now. I kind of put the other one in retirement.
I haven't worked on my spring for a long time because probably for the same reason. And my Shores of Hawk Run Hollow is on my WIPCO board, but my spring isn't, because I don't think I had started it yet. I think I started it this year. But anyway, so yeah, I think it is kind of challenging. I feel like I'm going to either work on one or the other for a good chunk of time. Although I have to say, Tina, sorry, I'm going back to Tina Stitch from Tina Stitches. She has 2 heids that she's working on, and she wants to keep making progress on each. And she basically works 1,000 stitches, I think she said, on one, and then puts it away, and then does 1,000 stitches on the other and switch. She rotates those 2. And I thought that's probably a good way to think of it. So if I do a Hawk Run Hollow on my WIPCO board, I'll probably do just say Hawk Run Hollow, and whichever one I'm working on for, maybe my goal will be to finish 1 square, put it away, get out spring a Hawk Run Hollow, finish 1 square. And anyways,
so not kind of specific.
Just to have
not put the specific Hawk Run, just put Hawk Run on your board.
Put a generic, so that whichever one I'm working on at the time, for her, that would be Haid, and then she would just pull out that Haid or whatever. I think that might help me feel like kind of I'm making good progress on both a little bit at a time.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
For your board. Yeah. So my other piece was my calendar piece, which is by Historical Sampler Company, and I'm working on the October square, which I should have done. It's not that hard. But I don't have it done. Huh?
I said, yeah, you should. I said, yeah, you should.
But I got the hat almost done. I think I have, you can't see it here, but there's some green filled in, and there's some other ones I got to fill in. My light isn't very good today, and I got to fill in that. And then just the swirlies, I might work on it tonight.
I bet you could finish it tomorrow night if you really wanted.
Yeah. I mean, and I won't get much stitching done tomorrow. I blurred out.
Yeah. Okay. You're also a little freezing sometimes.
Am I?
And I'm not sure if it's my connection or yours. I can't quite tell.
I'm not getting any unstable messages popping up.
Not either, but no. So I'm not sure.
And then really the last thing I really worked on. Wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. I worked on, I guess that was it. My other WIPCO, and I just finished my 4 hours on this last night.
Oh yeah.
Is my Ring Around Rose Tree by Nora.
Oh, that's so pretty.
So I did all of this and I filled in a bunch here. I have a couple, like this is all beads, so that won't get filled in.
Yeah.
I haven't done her mouth or her eyes yet.
Right.
I made a working copy off this because the pattern is huge, and it's not necessarily, this is not necessarily the halfway mark, but that's just where my copy cut off.
Right.
And I realized this is an arm of another girl that reaches around her because they're in the round.
Right.
So I think next I'm going to start the other girl that starts right here and get her down to this part. And then maybe move down before I move over, because this was the halfway mark down the pattern.
Oh,
but it's
that's good.
So I started up here, and that was kind of the middle. So anyway, I really love it, but it's a lot of stitching.
Yeah,
there's wasn't too bad this time around, but there are places in her dress that were blends the last time I worked on her, but I didn't have any blends this time. But if you don't know what this pattern is, hold on a second, I'll show you.
Oh yeah. So
Oopsie.
pretty.
There, it's kind of, there you go. So I'm working on this girl right here. So you can see their arms coming around.
Yeah, that's right. In front of her.
Yeah.
There's going in.
Yeah. So really, I've only got from to here. I have all that to do.
Yeah. You haven't done that much, but you've done a lot. I've done a lot less.
I mean, I have, considering I haven't worked on it a ton of times.
Yeah,
It's usually
it's
only,
pretty. I like
usually
that one.
only when I'm, yeah, I'm trying to think if I worked on anything else, but I guess I really didn't. This seems weird though.
Did you work on your seasons, girls?
Did not work on them. I did not. And I didn't work on my thankful trees. So I was telling Sarah before we started recording that I made my magazine monthly board and I pretty much failed on it because I was supposed to finish this piece.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And
I did.
Are you just kind of on the back stitching and then a couple
back
accents?
stitching and some French knots and a couple of birds, but
Yeah.
anyway, so I didn't finish that like I was supposed to. And what else did I do? I didn't touch my winter. I showed that last week, didn't I?
Which one?
I did. Winter by Cricket collection.
Oh yeah.
And I did meet my goal on that. And I
Somebody
asked
thought that maybe that was smoke coming out of a chimney or something.
yeah, and Candy 614 Stitcher messaged me and said that there's another Flosstuber that talks about that it's a bad design because it does not look like it's a chimney at all.
No.
I'm not crazy. I'm the only one apparently that's wondered what the heck that was. And then I didn't finish my spooky, my witch's shoe.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't finish that goal. I was supposed to do another hour. My tempting tangles, the red finch winter song on the dark blue fabric, didn't touch that. Didn't touch I Bring Thee Joy by Pineberry Lane. I did work on the Four Seasons girls, but I don't know if I got 4 hours in.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to work on Harvest on Dahlia Ridge, which I bought in Indiana, and I didn't touch that. So
Oh well.
Whipco kind of took it. Yeah.
Just one of those months.
Next month's another month. I was, like I said, more focused on my Whipco, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've got 5 bingos now.
Good job. I don't know how many
know.
I have. 1, 2. Let's see. How am I going to do this? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 as well. I guess that maybe everybody has 5. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody would if you kept up with your.
Oh,
you kept up.
I guess
Yeah.
so. Well,
That's kind of after I crapped out on it last year, I thought, no, you're not going to crap
I
out
know.
on it this year.
I've stayed with it. That small goal has kept me going. The 2 hours per square.
Yeah, and I made sure that the pieces I had on it, I really wanted to work on. So it's not like a drudge.
Yeah, right. Well, and like the fact that I did 5 squares for each piece meant that I never hit like a major lull where I didn't, like, oh, I haven't worked on this forever. I don't know if I want to pull it out. It was like, oh yeah, well, I've just kind of steadily been making progress. Oh, I don't have a picture.
My next year is going to probably have my Haid, my Rosewood Manor Quakers, which there's 2 going. I didn't start fall like I was going to. 2 Quakers and my Hawk Run. Probably Ring Around the Rose Tree again. Maybe Gathering Eggs again, since I don't seem to be finishing her up anytime soon. So it'll be kind of the same. But
you're at the fun part of her and you still.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I have no idea what I'm going to work on for mine. This week I did a lot of knitting also because I'm trying to work on that sweater for Rosie and then realized I made a mistake and I have to pull the whole thing out.
No.
I mean, I didn't do that. I mean, that's a significant amount of knitting that I have to take out all the way. So what I realized was that somehow when I was placing my stitch markers, which mark where you're increasing for each shoulder for this raglan sweater. So this is the shoulder that goes over like that and it increases down. I somehow missed placing one over here. So I have only one set of increases and there should probably be another one right here. going, increasing out the back. So there's really no way to fix that except just taking it all out. So I haven't done
Because
that.
it goes all the way back to the beginning when you start.
All the way, the second row is where I missed that. So I might as well just pull the whole thing out. So that was kind of discouraging, but not, at least I noticed it.
Yeah.
Not like
Before you were supposed to be done with the raglan.
10 more inches down the road. Yeah. So I worked some on that. I also worked on learning how to do tatting, but I didn't bring it over because there's really nothing to show because I don't know how to tat still, but I'm going to work on it.
You should try the long needle.
I should try the needle and see if I can get that knot to turn.
I was able to be more successful with it. There was something about flipping that shuttle, and yeah. Anyway, if you don't know what tatting is, we're not making any sense to you, but
Basically
long
thread. And I found a YouTube video on it. If I ever get more successful, I'll share more about that. And then I had worked some on my Haid. I realized my audio is just doing weird things. I don't know. Does it sound weird to you? Is it just me? Okay,
no,
I'm just gonna go with it and hope that it doesn't sound terrible. Sorry if the audio is a little weird on this. For me, my voice stutters a little bit every now and then. Like,
oh, maybe you're cutting out.
So maybe I'm having internet connection problems, or I don't know what I don't know why that would be. Because, anyways, sorry if it's annoying. We're not going to go back and re-record this whole thing. My Haid is the Annie Steg Tiny Traveler, and I'm up here in this corner. And I realized, so I had finished kind of 2 columns down, and I was going to work up and forgot. So I went back up to the top where I had already done some before I got pattern paper. And then I decided, but I don't have very many threads parked up there because I was down here before. So I went ahead and started today back down in this square here. You can see my leaf though is coming out better. And these are, I think, some leaves too. And there we go.
See, that's a lot of stitching.
A lot of stitching. I'm at 0.59%. 0.59. So a little more than 0.5% done with the project, with the pattern.
0.5%.
0.5%.
Okay, well, you're getting there. You're getting there, slow and steady.
0%. One of my WIPO calls was my Rosewood Manor stockings. And I realized before I started my own stocking, I hadn't really finished stitching because I didn't put this border and name at the top of Jesse's. But I'm deciding whether I want to do his name in beads. I think I'm going to just stitch it and leave the beads all accent. But I was kind of toying with the idea. So
you can just pop some beads, kind of scatter them around the border or around his name.
That's true. Just kind of, oops, that's upside down.
Little cranberries or something, little berries in there.
Yeah, that would be kind of cute. So I just put the border up there. Nothing too huge, but got me to
pretty.
And I pulled out the threads for mine, which I don't think I've shown. Hang on, I dropped the thread. Dropped it again.
Show yours again. You have your pattern there too.
Let me show the pattern for mine because I don't think I've showed that for a long time. Oh my gosh, all my whips are just falling on the floor.
Whoops.
This is his cranberry and pine, so you can see they're much more scattered, and then mine will be cranberry in rows. So you do more like of the same tree sometimes across in more like just rows. That'll be mine. Similar, like the trees are basically the same. I think
the same ones.
Stitched all of these trees at least once before. Well,
I guess
it might be different, but I know that this one is on his. This one for sure is. I think this one is. This one is. So
is that
same.
So is that other one in the top row? The top up top row. That one up. Yeah, that's on his.
Yeah, and all these are. So it's really the same designs, just arranged differently, with more like borders and stuff in it. I'm excited to do it. I think it'll be fun. But I need to get more beads to finish his still too. I still haven't ordered it. I put them in my cart on 1, 2, 3 stitch, but we're very frugal this month. So I'm like hesitant to do any extra spending because I don't want to overspend. So I'll get them eventually. I'm not going to have this done for this Christmas anyway, so I'm not that.
Yeah, I'm probably
really gonna try. Okay, give me 1 second to see if something fell on the floor. I don't think so. I think it just slid. Yes. Okay. My other, let's see. Snow Queen, I think, was my other Whipco piece. This is by Mirabilia. And I am working on her face and hair and crown now. Out. And here she is.
Oh, look at her.
I did some fill in down in here. I'm starting her hair.
Wow.
Yeah, there she is.
She's
I have
gorgeous.
some done down here, but not a lot. I'm sure you're not supposed to leave it on the snap, but don't judge me, people.
Well, you
I don't
know.
have any beads or anything on it, and I always loosen up that Q-snap before I put it away, like so that the tension, the fabric doesn't get like pulled. Okay, and so I haven't had the photo for this for the last few weeks that I've been working on it. This was my 13 stitches of Halloween. This is the tunnel of trees.
You got a long way to go on that.
Long ways to go.
The trees. Wait, is the grass done yet?
Not all of it.
Okay.
No. Like I probably have about this much done over here. Somewhere like, let me see. Yeah, I think I've got up to like this first tree done. And this kind of done somewhere around here. I haven't started the other house. I decided to kind of start working in like more like 100 stitch chunks because that's a newer way of stitching for me, and I kind of am more successful at picking what I'm going to work on. Here is where I'm at. I added some tree, some leaves up in the moon. I love that moon so much.
Moon is everything, yeah.
This is what makes the piece so great, is the moon. So that's where I'm at with my tunnel of trees.
Good job.
And I will probably put it away soon. I might keep it out through tomorrow, but I'm not going to probably work on it after Halloween. Maybe I will, but it's definitely a stitch that I have to be in the mood to work on.
Yeah.
And want to see.
No, I was thinking, I was putting some of my fall stitching away because I know after tomorrow I'm not going to want to do it. I'm going to pull out Christmas and winter. But I was thinking, I should maybe really try to pull my fall stuff out, like intersperse it midwinter, so that I've got some of the fall stuff done for next fall. Novel idea, huh?
Yeah. You won't want to though. Well, maybe you
might.
winter.
I might. There's a few that are so close to being done that's probably what I just need to do. Maybe I'll put them on my AB single or my Bringle.
Yeah.
I'll intersperse them with my Bringle. Yeah. Rather than just ignore them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. This is my Shepherd's Bush Bring Us Good Cheer. And yeah, I've been working on that some this week. Pull it out. I really enjoy it. This is where I'm at.
So cute.
So,
I love the green. I love the colors.
I forgot I had as much of that border done as I do. I mean, I still have a lot to do because there's all those little red.
Oh yeah, little bear. Are they berries and cross stitches?
There's a heart. There's some back stitching. No, I don't think there's beads in the border. I think it's all just cross stitches. But let me see. Yeah, I had to pull out a little bit because you can hardly see them. These candy canes at the top, can you see they kind of crisscross? I think I had miscounted those, so I had to pull those all out, but that was not that big a deal. The last thing I worked on is a new start. This was one of my birthday gifts from my daughter, Rosie. She's 9 years old and was very excited for me to start this. It's my dimension. It's called Black and White Hens. And there they are.
They're so cute.
And I decided to start here, basically in the middle. Stitch this way for now. So I'm starting on this chicken. Here's where I have got to. Let's see if you can even see it. It's kind of
White Ada.
It's blue Ada. Let me see if I can show it better. I did
Oh,
some
yeah.
half stitches, half cross, for kind of that background blue, and then the face of that chicken. That chicken's face has like 8 colors in that little tiny area.
Which one are you starting with?
This one who's
Oh, that one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's probably a lot of colors in there.
yeah. Yeah, that red. There's like a salmon and a red and a pink and another red and 3 yellows in the beak alone. There's like 8 stitches for the beak, but it makes it really cute and speckly. So that's everything I worked on. That was fun to do that new little start. Made her happy.
Yeah.
It made me happy because I think it's going to be really cute. I
It's
did
gonna be
hang,
cute.
did I tell you I hung my Joyful World, a huge piece? Yeah, I did tell you that. I hung it over my piano. Maybe I'll try to put a picture in the,
Yeah, you should
that
see it on the
final-
wall.
yeah,
See it in the wild now.
I get to see it every day, anytime I
Yes.
want.
Anytime you want. I need to work on that border next year too. I need to just figure that out. You
Not
need
on
to
your
help
whip go.
Huh?
That should
Yeah.
go on your whip go.
Yeah, I think it will. Yeah. Because I just kind of
When it's done.
touched out on that this year.
Yeah.
Then I hit the hard part. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any
Well,
haul? I don't have
I
any.
have one haul is our prize for the Shepherd's Bush thing, but the other haul was a total impulse purchase. When I went to get the prize, I had seen this. Okay, so my needlework lady, store owner, had stitched this Nora. It doesn't say what her name is on this. I'd have to look this up. She had stitched this Nora.
Oh, wow.
She's small. She's one of the bewitching pixies,
Uh-huh.
but she stitched it on this fabric. That just, I just had to have it.
Are you going to stitch that pattern or just the fabric you needed?
Yes, not that pattern, but a different one.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the spider web,
Oh,
and
that's
she stitched
helpful.
it in the middle of this piece of fabric.
Oh, cool.
And this fabric is, I want to say, oh, it's from Rogue Fabrics. Now get this one. The fabric piece that she had stitched hers on.
Yeah.
This is a 32 count. Let's see. Okay, so hers just kind of sits right here in the middle. Only had a 1-inch margin.
When it came?
All the original piece that she bought from them, from Rogue Fabrics, which people talk about Rogue Fabrics, but apparently she made it sound like Rogue Fabric people are not stitchers, because she contacted them and said, have nobody told you that stitchers need 3 inches? And they were all like, well, we talked to Michael's and they only need 1 inch. And I'm like, she's like, well,
Michael's?
I
Like
want to
the craft
order,
store?
but Michael's framing, yeah, like Michael's framing only needs 1 inch. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
that's what Rogue Fabrics told her.
And then they're
And she said, well, I would like to order this. Yeah, so they were basing it on that because they're not cross stitchers, I guess, Rogue Fabric people.
Well, and
I don't know if that's true or not.
professional framing, maybe they do only need 1 inch, but that's not everybody goes.
But anyway, so she ordered more of it, but she said, I want a 3-inch border. So they charged her a design fee. Yeah.
Oh, fabric.
So anyway, I bought it, but I'm not going to do this one. I don't think. I found a different one of her fairies. It's called Anne. Let's see if I can find her. Hold on. Shoot, I thought I had it saved, but I don't. She didn't have it in, but I would have bought it because then I would have it all ready to go. But she had just shipped her last copy of it out to somebody in South Dakota that called in. Bewitching Fairy Pixie.
Maybe it's somebody who watches us because we keep telling people to go find her.
No, actually, it was kind of a sad.
It was what?
No, it was kind of a sad story actually. The gal that. Okay, I think I'm going to stitch. Come on. I think I'm going to stitch this one on her.
Oh, that's fun.
It's not coming up real here. I've got an extra light sitting here, but she's green. I like the green and the gold in her on this fabric. Anyway, so this lady had come through the area with her son. I'm not sure how old her son was, adult or teenager, or, not a baby.
Mhm.
But anyway, so she had come through and I forget, they were looking at different hobby stores or something in the area. I don't know what his hobby was, but they found her store. So they went into her store and she bought a mermaid, a Nora or a Mirabilia mermaid, and was stitching it for her son. And then her son passed away.
Mm.
So she was telling her how she went ahead and finished it. And so now when she looks at it, she remembers her son, but then she wanted to stitch more of the Noras. And so she remembered her in Issaquah and ordered from her.
Oh,
I know. So anyway,
God.
that's my big purchase. That's my big goal someday, is to stitch something on this amazing fabric. Because I'm not really into novelty fabrics, but this
Cool.
it really struck me. Yeah. So that's really all it. That's really all it.
That's all it.
Been good too. I'm Christmas shopping. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have time to spend on hobby habits.
Yeah, I guess it's
Hobby habits. Well, and it's not like I have a shortage of things to work on, folks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little guilty when I buy new things. Now, I've reached that stage.
Yeah. Could probably just shop from what you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any either. Just a tight money month.
Mhm.
What are your plans this week? This week.
Well, this week is to finish up my October block for my calendar year.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to look at my November magazine monthly, try to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. Here it is. So that are just finding us. There's a Facebook group called the Magazine Monthly Facebook group. I don't know, Magazine Monthly something.
Magazine Monthly Challenge group.
It's run by Carolyn Zook from Zook Stitch and Robin Hall, right, from Bird's Eye Stitches. And so every month they put out a challenge. So this coming month. Obviously, as you see, I have not filled mine in all the way. I started. Turkey Day is going to go on.
I haven't even printed mine.
I did.
And it originally started off with the Seahawks won. Explosions are going off. I'm like, wait, Seahawks. Anyway, I was going to say, so it started off as kind of a group to kind of motivate you to stitch from the magazines you collect that you never stitch out of. So that top theme was supposed to be a magazine piece, and then you could pick whatever you wanted for the acrostic. And some people only did the acrostic. Some people did just the theme. Some people do the theme but don't pick a magazine anymore. And I've kind of gotten to that point. Although this year I managed. I usually try to choose something magazine, but not too much anymore. Now I just try to fit it into the actual thing. And this is the third year we've done it, right? It started in 2020. My second year. I had a lot of 2020 and 2021 pieces that I never finished that I started. So I was trying to focus on those for my theme this year. So I wasn't starting a whole bunch of new magazine pieces. So I need to go back and see wow, they're really excited today because those booms are still going off. Yeah, I can hear them. Just a little bit. Got rid of Russell, man, and we're doing good. Crazy. Russell ain't doing so good down there in Denver, apparently. Oh, really? I don't follow. I know. Not really at all. So. No, poor guy, but his time was up. So. Our new guy is kind of beating him in all the stats, apparently. So that's exciting. I mean, I'm not watching the games, but I do want them to do well because I am kind of a Seahawks fan. Yeah. So that's that. So that's that challenge, right? And so I need to figure that out. And my Whipco pieces for next month, I think I already said it, but it's going to be Sunflower Fairy and Hawk Run Hollow. And Sunflower Fairy is a Nora Corbett that I started for Magazine Monthly the first year, 2020. Because it wasn't a magazine originally. Now you can just buy it as a separate pattern, I guess. And I don't know. I'm going to work on my Vivaldi Four Seasons Girls. And I need to kind of transition out of the fall into the winter Christmas. So I'm going to dig through my basket and see what Christmas whips I've got. Yeah. I was going to look at Emily Call. Emily Call has some new Christmas designs out. So I was going to look at hers more closely, Emily.
I know. I have to look at some of hers. I need to look at hers.
There is a fall piece that I think I'm going to keep working on though, and it's that fall wreath. I just love that piece. You know, the Ukrainian designer that I'm doing. Yeah,
that's a really pretty one. I'm looking at what whips I have to think about what I really want to work on.
And Itchy, if you follow along in any of the like Carolyn Zook's Facebook group or the magazine monthly group, there's a Ukrainian designer, Ekaterina Spidela,
Daniela, I think.
Anyway, she goes by Stitchy Princess Black on Etsy. She is a designer and she is in the Kherson region in Ukraine. I think she might be in the city actually. I'm not 100% sure. So she posts updates, you know, and I think people are just, you know, offering support and hang in there, hang on, you know, kind of thing. But she's hopefully going to release a nativity pattern. Maybe next Saturday, I think she's hoping to. Her internet is very, very spotty. In fact, she has, they're very Ukrainian folklore inspired. So I'm planning on probably buying that when it comes out to support her. I cannot even imagine the stuff that she posts. I mean, it's just, they're just hunkered down now, just waiting, and their electricity is off half the time, and they don't have any more wired internet. All the cables have been cut, so they just have mobile internet, I guess. So it's pretty dire. It's pretty dire. I don't know if her grandma is still with her. I wonder if they got her grandma out of there. Originally, it was her and her grandma and her husband and their little cat, but she hasn't mentioned her grandma for a while. So I'm wondering if they evacuated her. But her husband couldn't leave because he's of fighting age, so she stayed with him.
Yeah.
Anyway, send happy thoughts, good thoughts, safe thoughts to her, because it just breaks my heart that people are having to live like this.
It's crazy.
So anyway, I'm going to be looking for that. That's one of my plans. I'm going to go to the post office and mail my giveaways out, people. Now tell me again who won Little House Needleworks. It's still here. This was a past the stash.
What was the word we used for that?
Pumpkin maybe, or house, or
Pumpkin Hollow Farms with
we'll find out who you are, because I did not put a sticker on here, and I know it's one of our regular viewers.
Not birds.
I want to say Sandy.
Bird?
No.
What is that?
There's no birds on it.
Is that
there
Pumpkin
are
Hollow
some
Farm?
birds in the tree. Yeah.
Is it Pumpkin Hollow? Oh, yeah, that's Teresa Ruddy.
Teresa Ruddy. Teresa. Okay, guess what? I found my half-started piece for you. I'm going to send. I don't know if you're going to want it. I changed the house color to blue when in reality on the pattern it's brown. But I will send this lovely piece of hand tea-dyed fabric to you. You can do whatever you want. So I was kind of holding off on sending that until I got my rear in gear and looked for the fabric. So I did that today. So that's going to go out. This piece is going to go out. And also, we had a birds of a feather.
Yes, that one I have not heard from the winner, so we can put that back in the pot. We'll do that another time.
But I'm not sure which one. Oh wait, hold on a second.
We had one.
Oh, it's the blue one. Okay, it's Spring Fever is the one. Okay, so that's going to go back. So we haven't heard from her, so this will be a giveaway again sometime soon. But we have a new giveaway for today in honor of Halloween. It's one that also somebody won but never contacted us. And so we've waited and waited, and now we're not going to wait any longer. And we didn't draw. We're drawing this week for this one. So we're putting this coming week for this one. Yeah. It is by a fairly new design team, Cotton Pixels. And I think they made their debut at Nashville Market. And I had purchased this as a giveaway. It's so cute. And it includes that silver pumpkin charm. Oh, that is really cute. And it is really cute. So we'll use the word on Halloween. 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 Oh, it calls for a few beads. It's very detailed instructions. And it only calls for DMC. Wow. Back stitches, straight stitches. Wow, very, very nicely written pattern. So anyway, Halloween, if you want to win Autumn Cat on
Really cute. Halloween. And we didn't end up having anybody enter for our giveaway last week, which is why we didn't go. So we'll just tuck that away and do that maybe in the spring. Maybe it's too springy for this season right now.
Yeah.
It's
and this Blackbird one is spring one too.
So let's just tuck those away in the future.
Yeah. So that's that. Next week we will have this. We'll have a Shepherd's Bush
quick flash.
Two giveaways because Sanctum Stitching has contributed towards that also. Do you know if you've gotten any entries from people that maybe came from her that have said they came from Sanctum?
Yes, at least one person.
Okay.
Yeah, one person at least.
Okay. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you say what your plans were? I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Let's see. I'm gonna fill out
the giveaway. Sorry.
That's okay. No, well, that was kind of part of your plan was to get those up. I'm gonna fill in the rest of this, so I have some less aimless stitching this month.
Yeah.
So I have a few jotted down that I know, and I will work on my November window pieces probably a little bit this week, which is again my rosewood stockings and my shores of Hawk Run Hollow. And I have kept up. That's my November, and then I'm all caught up with that. And ripping out that sweater and casting that back on because I need to keep working on that.
I was thinking of trying to knit the little babies, little bears, but I don't know if I'm going to get that knitting done. I might just move into some other kind of knitting. I'm running out of time.
Yeah,
to
get knit gifts done. That's probably my plan. It's just kind of figuring out what my plans are.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Yeah. Get more.
That's my stitching. I feel like there was something else I was going to mention that I watched or something this week from Flosstube, but I can't remember what it was. I should have written it down. So if it comes to
so behind on Flosstube, I need to watch. I've been watching YouTube war videos.
Ooh, so encouraging, so fun.
Well, there's just a couple of YouTubers that are very pro-Ukrainian, obviously, and they're just, I don't know. It's mindless for me. I can stitch during it, and it's informative. And one of the guys is Estonian. He's a young guy, and he has a really dry sense of humor, and he has no patience for Russia right now. And so, he's serious. He's seriously showing, clips of Russians just running amok. I mean, literally panicking and running amok. They're their own worst enemy half the time. Today, his comment was, all Ukraine needs to do is rattle them and surprise them, and then the Russians will take care of themselves, because they just, it's really sad and pathetic. But anyway, so then he says, okay, he said, we haven't talked about this a lot, but I probably need to talk about the Ukrainian casualties. And he puts up a graphic, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what? And it's washing machines missing, refrigerators, how many coffee makers are gone. And it's just so deadpan about it that it just cracked me up today. So anyway, I do need to get back to watching my Flosstube friends. Yeah. And hopefully,
I found a new Instagram guy. I'll put him in the, okay, I have to look up what his name is again though. He's really funny. He's got like an audiobook reader voice. I don't know if he does audiobooks. Let me see if I can find him. What was his name? Oh, of course, now he's not going to pop right up in he's been the first thing in my feed since I started following him, and now he's not going to pop up.
Oh, really?
Here he is. Jasonroygaston.
What a name.
Super nerdy. He is he kind of makes me think of like my cousin Fletcher, like just that level of geekiness probably. But he has these videos where he takes like, sometimes they're like Chinese signs with an American translation underneath, but sometimes they're just other random things like let me see if I can find one. I sent you one where he read an Amazon review for those tiny babies that we bought to put in
Yes.
the cues for the baby shower ice cube game. So those kinds of things. He'll find like funny reviews, just any kind of content, and then read them in a very dramatic,
very dramatic voice.
Dramatic audiobook type reader voiceover actor.
Yeah.
And he had me like just cracking out, like laughing out loud as I was watching different videos of his over the weekend here. So I'll put him in the comments just if you need a good laugh.
Well, I found one. She's a little bit risque. She has a TikTok and her Instagram is, I can't get my shit together. She does home improvement, but she's always got a glass of wine in her hand, and she's so sarcastic. And so her Instagram is the initials for that phrase, ICGMSE. Yeah, that's how you find her. I can't get my shit together, but she has she had some home decorating for the holidays, and she had home improvement for your front porch.
But they're just like spoofy. Are they spoofy? Like,
oh yeah, well, like so the one with her porch was, she's like, I'm going to tell you how to spruce up your late summer yard, your fall yard before it's Halloween. And you see the dead plants in her planter box behind her, and she's got her glass of wine and happy hour style or whatever. And she's very put together. And then you see her, she cuts to this, she explains what she doesn't even explain what you should do. She kind of puts a quick graphic up, but then it flashes to her, speeded up, and she's all of a sudden standing there, yanking the dead plants out, throwing them, and then shoving the new ones in. And she goes, all done. And then she's always like, just throw the old ones out in the yard. Maybe somebody will pick them up and put them out in the woods for you or something. Or there's another one. She was talking about taking down some kind of a board, some kind of a garland or something. She goes, just put it out in the backyard with your Christmas tree. And then it flashes to this Christmas tree in a fire pit on fire, in the middle of summer kind of thing. She's just very sarcastic and kind of spoofy, but like real. Like, sometimes I think we just don't give a care, right? And like one time she goes, well, I've got my fall decorations up. And she says, remember my mantle? Well, I took my pumpkin off of that. And then she's got this like table in her entryway, and there's just like this little tiny mini pumpkin. They're all done. And then she's like, and she did one from last year where she did the mini pumpkin. She's like, I realize it's the holidays. And I went to the store and I looked at all the holiday decorations, and I found something that is easy and anybody can do. Voila. And so what she's done is she's taken the pumpkin away, and it's a bowl of red and green M&Ms. She goes, Joey.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, she makes me laugh.
I'll link to both of those people in the.
There's another one, Midwestern Mom. That Midwestern
She's
Mom
funny
is
too.
a crack up. She's funny on Instagram, and she has TikTok too. She's been fun to watch. So those have been nice laughs.
Yeah.
And I'm still reading my I didn't read all week.
Oh,
I know, I'm bad.
Just aren't in the habit of it. You have to just find a way to build the habit.
I used to
do
be
it for like 30 days straight, and then it's a habit, and you just do it.
Yeah, I didn't do my lunchtime reading. I don't know why. I don't know what I did during lunch.
Probably scrolled.
I don't know.
Probably scrolled that Midwestern Mom.
Probably. No, I didn't stitch. I knit one afternoon. No, I didn't even knit then. I didn't have that much knitting to do. I had 1.5 sleeves on an arm that's this big and this big around. You'd think I was knitting a full-size cardigan this week or something, the way I'm going on about it. And all this knitting to do.
All that crazy amount of knitting.
I think I've just been distracted. My husband's health issues, they're not critical, but they're just taking up brain space for me, trying to keep him on track. Trying to keep my dad on track. I need to call him. I think I just have a lot on my mind and just haven't been able to focus really well or something. That's not like me. And I had my COVID shot.
Yeah.
I was a responsible little girl, went and got my COVID booster on Friday, which was fine. I mean, I don't usually react, but I did wake up. So I got it Friday afternoon. Saturday, I woke up, I was kind of dizzy. I wasn't like spinning, but I was really off balance. And like, I was okay when I was sitting, but if I walked, I was like, I don't know. It was just awful. It was an awful feeling. And I thought, is this from the shot, or is this from my normal? I get these episodes where I'm that way. And I looked, and that's not a normal symptom. That's not one of the reported symptoms of the shot, but my body does weird things. So I could have the one rare instance where somebody gets dizzy. And then last night we went out to dinner with our friends, and by the time we left their house, I was feeling really achy, and I thought I'm still reacting to that shot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to bed early Friday and last night. So that also ate up my reading time, and I just fell asleep. But this morning I wasn't dizzy anymore. So that's why I think it maybe was I really pushed the fluids.
Yeah.
Because I do tend to not drink enough, and I think I get myself kind of dehydrated.
Yeah.
But today's been much, much better, and I don't feel achy or any of that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can stay COVID free a little longer.
I hope so.
Who knows?
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, especially with all these, Dad's upcoming and stuff. So anyway, it's just, and I also am trying to revamp exactly how we talked about this, how I eat, how I'm cooking for us, because we need to lose weight desperately. Yeah. So it's just, I threw away, this killed me. I threw out my Russian tea mix that I drink every Sunday. I'm drinking regular old tea because that was full of sugar. It was comforting and warm. I might make some for just that. I was in a mood.
Once a week is probably okay to have Russian tea.
Yeah.
But if you really want to be really good, though, it's probably smart to just get rid of it.
Yeah, I might give it a little bit of time just to kind of cut that out. He's cut out soda. He doesn't drink much soda anyway, so that wasn't a huge sacrifice. It wasn't a huge hardship for him. But he is trying to be better about what he's taking for lunch. I can control the dinners pretty good, but what he eats for lunch is a little harder.
Yeah.
And breakfast. But like today, he did not make hash browns and eggs for us. He made oatmeal, which is much better. Just on that kind of lifestyle plan. So anyway, that's taken up a lot of brain space too.
Yeah.
Trying to think about what I'm going to cook and
yeah.
Cool. Oh, by the way, you need to tell me the name of that.
Yeah. I had Jack Skeleton, not skeleton. Maybe it's skeleton. What's he called? Jack? I don't know. My brain is blank right now. I haven't watched that movie for a few years, so. And before that, I hadn't watched it for like a few decades. So, the other person that I was telling you about yesterday, that recipe person, she has a website and her Instagram is called InstantLoss.
It's Jack Skellington.
Skellington. Yeah, I knew it was almost like skeleton, but I couldn't. I was like, it's not Skeletor. That's not right.
Oh, yeah. So tell me the name of this person again, because I couldn't.
This person is InstantLoss. And her name is Brittany Williams, and she posts a bunch of recipes, and she has a blog and a few cookbooks. And I was kind of looking at her stuff this week because somebody recommended her to me. So I'll put her also lots of resources for you today. I haven't cooked anything from her blog or anything, but I was looking at it and thinking, I might add some of these into my meal plan. I usually have been paying for a meal planning service, then I just buy the stuff and do the meal prep each week. But I was finding that I was still spending too much now.
Are you?
Well, no, I think I was spending a reasonable amount and I'm needing to cut back further. So I went to very low budget meals, like lots of beans. We're still having some meat, but especially this month and next month because of Christmas, and we'll have other like food expenses in Christmas time. But so I made a very simple meal plan, and I'm just rotating it every 2 weeks, like a 2-week meal plan, I'll probably try and plug in a few things into her, like from her or somewhere in.
I think there's I've had this mentality, and I wonder if I've passed it on to you, that I needed to cook just new stuff all the time. Like I needed to be rotating and like I had a 6-week menu rotation, right? And usually that was with things I really liked, but I've cut some of those out because they were cream soup based, and I'm trying to cut some. I mean, once in a while we can have that, but not as often as we were. Yeah. But I'm thinking, okay, Kim, really, there is a mentality for me a little bit of I'm not living to eat, I'm eating to live. It doesn't have to be a gourmet meal or a big old casserole every night. It can just be some whole grains and a piece of salmon and a vegetable and a fruit, and you'll be just fine. So I'm trying to really simplify, or rice and beans, or like lentil soup, or I can't afford beef. I mean, beef is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe once in a while I can buy some ground beef, but I'm not buying steaks or anything right now. It's
No.
so, I was looking at something that was like 2 flank steaks, or I mean, I didn't even think they were that big of a cut. We're like $40. $40
That is
for 2
insane.
pieces of meat that were like this big. I'm like, no, but
Yeah.
we don't need it anyway. So
That is crazy.
I am trying to get more, more fish.
Well, and I just get kind of bored because there's a lot of fun things to do out there, healthy and not healthy. Like, but for right now, I just needed to just have, I can be more experimental later, but I was feeling just kind of like, I really needed to have a very close budget and very like, we can make our own snacks or eat lots of fruits and veggies for snacks rather than buying crackers and things. So that's
although fruits and veggies aren't all that cheap either.
No, I know, but we have lots of apples right now because they've been in season, and and we've got still tomatoes.
I mean, I guess carrots and those kinds of veggies are cheap.
Carrots and bananas. When I say fruits and veggies, I'm thinking carrots, apples, and bananas, celery.
I think we are not alone. I think there's a lot of people in this country that are feeling the pinch for sure. And feeling the pinch in the grocery department because it is shocking.
And it's shocking to me. The quality of the meals I'm making are lower than they really were before because I'm a good cook. My kids and my husband love what I make. So I'm proud of that. I'm happy about that. And often I'll, maybe I have on there tacos, but I'll do a different kind of taco each week, like depending on what we happen to have.
Yeah.
Or I think one of the things on my menu is fried rice. And so I bought some canned chicken, which I never really use. I haven't used canned chicken since probably like we were early married. But I thought canned chicken would probably work just fine in a fried rice dish with some, with some egg and simpler too. We had some shrimp still in the freezer, so we did shrimp. But so like I can still dress it up and change things around a little bit, but that's my like core.
Yeah, I think it's just that time right now, and I think it's okay. It's okay. We don't need
to be feasting at every meal. Like
no,
we don't have normal time. Like. Feasting isn't a special because we've already just been feasting.
Yeah.
I finished the book. Not to change the subject too fast, but I finished listening to the personal recollections of Joan of Arc. Personal recollections of something. Yeah, of Joan of Arc.
Right.
Mark Twain book. I talked about it last week, and I listened to it through Craft Lit, the podcast Craft Lit, and I enjoyed it. I mean, of course, I knew how it ended. It's sad, like she's not gonna make it. But I feel like I really kind of got to know her because he did a ton of research. Like it's not one of his typical books. He was fascinated with Joan of Arc, and you can tell. Like he loved her. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure why. But he read all kinds of like the actual trial in the original French and all that research he did is really compelling and really interesting. And he changed some details and things to make it more of a story. But anyway, it was really, really enjoyable. So now I'm listening to Dracula, which is an old book that they did a long time ago. But I follow another podcast. It's called the Literary Life Podcast. And it's a couple people I really like kind of from the homeschooling community that I'm part of. They do this podcast and they typically are going through a book, but you listen to it on your own. So I went back to the Craftlit options to listen to it for free. And if you ever are looking for a good recording of Dracula, it's really fun. She's got some good readers.
Never read that book.
It's fun. I've read it before. So this is a reread for me and I've been wanting to go back. I always want to read it this time of year just because of Halloween and it's spooky and now I'm going to listen to it. It's not going to be Halloween anymore, but I'll still be enjoying it. It'll still be.
Yeah. Fun. Well, I've got nothing new on the reading end of things.
Well,
I'm going to get my act together.
That's all right. I think I don't have too much else. And I probably better go to dinner before Jesse drives away.
Yeah. Did he decide not to do that after a while or is he going to
find out tonight? So my husband is going to grad school in Portland, which is about 3 hours away from us. And he has a very early Monday morning class, followed by a day full of practica hours, I guess is what you would say. He's seeing clients in the clinic there. He's a counselor, or he's becoming a counselor. So he's been going down Sunday nights in the evening and staying with a family down there and then driving home Monday night. But he's going to do that at least another tonight. So yes,
Okay.
he is I have to go make dinner.
Okay.
I don't have to, but I'd
I
like
do
to
too.
make dinner for him before he leaves. So
Yeah, I got to figure out something to go to the grocery store too. So I don't have anything else either, except for happy stitching.
happy stitching. Thanks for watching. Send me your shepherd's bush pictures by tomorrow, and we'll draw for a winner next week. And that's everything. Happy Halloween. Hope you have a great week.